Okay, so I know this whole yes on Prop 8, no on Prop thing is over, but I definitely have something. I was just on YouTube. I was minding my own fucking business, and I came across a yes on 8 video, a strictly yes on 8 video, and it wasn't the one that's like specifically just blabbing about the whole we're going to teach our kids about marriage in school. So I'm going to play it and comment on it throughout the video, in this video. Not that you'll be able to see it, but I'll link it if you guys really, really feel like it. Yeah. So here we go.
I don't see how same-sex marriage really hurts anyone else. What's the harm?
This guy was apparently, in the beginning here, obviously would vote no, but then they go into apparently how it would harm other people. So
if Proposition 8 fails, there's a whole bunch of consequences. Did you
I'd like to hear.
know that churches that rent out their facilities for marriages could be forced to allow same-sex marriage ceremonies on their properties?
What's so wrong with that? Are we like infected? Like, do we have like termites like running around like our skin? Like, what's so wrong with that? Okay, they might be religious churches, but whatever. There's nothing wrong with that.
And because the California Supreme Court has made same-sex marriage a fundamental right, legal defenses based on religious freedoms are less likely to succeed.
No. Because there's not going to be the same policies that open up just for I mean, yes, they're going to be for same-sex marriage, but like the ones based on religious freedoms, there's not going to be one based on homosexual freedoms or homosexual tendencies or anything like that. So your point is completely invalid.
If Proposition 8 fails, religious adoption agencies may be forced to place children in same-sex marriages. Or
oh my god! What's bad about that? Like, okay, people, first of all, there's the whole redonkulous stereotype where women should be in the kitchen kind of thing, and they need to take care of the kids, and etc., so on and so forth. So put it this way, so if women are like this fundamental like part of a child's upbringing, then what's wrong with, like, let's say 2 of them? You know, like, that's, like, twice as good, too, because, like, there's one that's off working, probably, and then there's another one that's, like, stay at home and is, like, the mom, you know? Like, she puts the dress on, the one that goes off to work, she puts the pants on, okay? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And then if there's 2 guys are a fundamental part of a bringing up, and now that kind of, the fact that I say they're both fundamental kind of makes it sound like, you know, I have nothing against same-sex, or different sex marriage, I mean, like, heterosexual marriages, there's obviously nothing wrong with that. But I mean, also, if there's 2 different, if there's 2 guys and who raise a child, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either, just because the sole fact that, guys, they have, like, this, God, like, I'm not trying to discriminate, obviously I'm not trying to discriminate, but guys are very, very, there's some things, you know how you can ask your mom some things, and then there's some things that you ask your dad things, you know, having two fathers or having 2 mothers, it's not that much different than having a mother and a father. Now you're not the favorite. You don't have the favorite parent because you have 2 dads. Oh my god, my dad is cool. Both of my dads are awesome. I mean, how's it different from, like, I don't know, like, if, let's say you have, like, your same-sex parents, right, or your different-sex parents, and, let's say your mom dies, okay, unfortunately, and then your dad's like, okay, I'm gonna go get remarried, and, actually, no, hold on. Your mom is still living, by the way. And then both your parents remarry. So now you have 2 moms and 2 dads, correct? Well, let's say both of your mothers die. You have 2 stepdads. Or you have a dad and a stepdad. Okay, I mean, it's the same concept, kinda. I mean, they don't live together, but you get the point. Forget it.
discontinue providing adoption services altogether.
Why would they have to discontinue adoption services altogether? Even if they're religious, I really don't care. They wouldn't have to just because gay people are going to adopt children.
That's what happened with Catholic Charities in Massachusetts.
Okay, charities, adoptions, charities. Wow, this lady's really pissing me off.
After its courts imposed same-sex marriage.
Based on past experience, those who oppose same-sex marriage on religious grounds will be increasingly labeled as intolerant and subjected to legal penalties or social ridicule.
No way! Oh, that's hilarious, because they are being intolerant. There is gonna be a social, like, difference, because they're fucking intolerant. They're dumb. I'm sorry. Of course, people who are homophobic and who don't accept same-sex marriages or gay people are going to be labeled as intolerant because they are. It's like saying rednecks, the generalized stereotype of, don't like black people. I mean, like, think about it this way. I'm going to say that, I'm going to throw myself out on a tree here and say that, you know, some people that didn't necessarily maybe voted for Obama, who didn't vote for Obama, you know, didn't want a black president in office because there's still some people that don't think blacks and white people have the same equal rights. This is the same damn thing, guys. Are we gonna go back to slavery too?
Already happening in the debate over Prop 8. Some
No,
who
it's
support
not.
traditional marriage are having their careers threatened. This won't be
How are they having their careers threatened? That's illegal, first of all. But then again, so is like half of these Yes on 8 commercials because they're lying their fucking asses off.
limited to California as its powerful influence is felt across the country.
Did you know that nearly all public schools in California provide education about health and sexuality?
They provided about health. I'm in fucking college, guys, and just thought I'd let you know, in health right now, we already went over STDs and sex and pregnancy and everything. And yes, there was a section called sexuality, and it had nothing to do with teaching about guys with guys, besides the fact that we talked about AIDS at one point. But we even talked about girls with girls and how they can get AIDS, so it doesn't really matter. You know, I never learned about marriage. I'm sorry. Like, in elementary school, when they start your little sex ed program, they don't teach you anything besides sex is bad. Apparently.
If Prop 8 fails, children will be taught that marriage is between Party A and Party B, regardless of gender.
How is that horrible? Regardless of same-sex marriage is allowed in California, there are still gonna be gay people. Your child is still gonna go to school with gay people, even if you go to, like, private fucking Catholic schools, okay? Sorry, there's gonna be gay girls, there's gonna be gay guys. Sucks for you.
Children will be taught that same-sex marriages are the equal of traditional marriages.
Why wouldn't it be? What's the difference between a same-sex marriage and a traditional marriage, besides the fact that one has the same gender, and one has a female and a male? There's nothing wrong with it. They would still, supposedly, get the same rights and everything. It would still be marriage.
There will be serious clashes between the public schools and parents who desire to teach their children their own values and beliefs.
Well, okay, then that brings me to, think about it this way. I am raised by my parents who are liberal, or not, who aren't liberals, who are conservative, and I'm pretty much a fucking liberal, because they're like, oh my god, abortion, 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 that's fine, no one really cares, and I'm like, I'm kind of pro-life. I mean, I'm pro-choice for everything else, but, like, personally, I'm pro-life. And then, like, all this other, like, random shit. My parents are so intolerant of, like, everything. My parents, watch my other video about what my parents said about this whole shit. But, you know, the parents can teach their kids whatever they want. There are some religions say, you know, don't have sex until after marriage. Why? I mean, some people aren't going to go out of their way to be bitchy about them, are they? Like, that's kind of, personally, I would try to teach my children that, but I am very aware that, you know, in reality, that's probably not going to happen.
If Proposition 8 fails, it will affect everyone.
Okay.
For example, the change of the legal definition of marriage could narrow personal liberties. Some have
How?
already been lost, like photographers who prefer not to photograph gay weddings, and doctors who prefer not to perform artificial insemination of gays.
Okay, so that's also like saying some doctors won't, you know, like, I don't know, they won't treat blacks, or some photographers won't shoot Indian weddings or something. So it's the same fucking thing. You're just being a piece of shit now.
Even when there are other willing doctors.
It's been said, the right to swing your fist ends where my nose begins. You see, although the argument of redefining marriage
Oh, I love this one. This
is
one's
couched in
hilarious.
happiness or equal rights, it's really about gaining control, forcing all of us to give up the very foundation of speech and religious freedoms on which this country was founded.
Speech and religious freedoms. Bitch, I want to marry whoever I want to marry. That's my religious freedom. That's what our country grew up on, which was this freedom, this liberating, this time where we were free to do what we want. That's what people come to America for, is so we could have this, like, equality, you know? Like, we each have the freedom, to an extent, to do what we want. I'm not going to say I can go out and murder someone. That's not freedom of speech or freedom of action or anything, but still, it fucking pisses me off. She literally just gave me the exact reason why gay marriage should be legal.
Join me.
Join all of us.
No.
Be wise. Be
Oh,
informed.
be
It's our
wise.
future. It's our children's future.
Yeah, it's your future. Okay, you're probably, okay, I'm gonna be generous here. You're 30, 40, I think one woman in there looked like 50. Exactly. No offense, you're